Today I'll be talking about Vernon Lee's A Wicked Voice. The story reflects on Magnus, a composer who is haunted by the voice of the famous singer Zaffarino. I will cover the water and moon imagery as well as the overall relevance to decadence. On the first page, page 155, Magnus tells a little story about werewolves. He states that his old nurse far off in Norway used to tell him that werewolves are ordinary men and women half their days, and that if during that period they become aware of their horrid transformation, they may find the means to forestall it. Werewolves represent and symbolize the transformation Magnus is about to take on. Throughout the story, not only does he transform, but he declines. Very decadent. The spirit voice makes him ill. Also, his personal musical taste and artistic strategy decline. He goes from being a die-hard Wagner fan who rejects the musical styles of the past to a person who ends up loving it and composes it himself. Though he is still able to compose, it's a sickly version of what he originally would have wanted to compose. Werewolves represent disease that he is overcome with, the hauntings of the music. Being a werewolf is a disease itself. It is a declining transformation from man to beast, and this expresses all that Magnus is about to embark on right from the beginning. Werewolves come out when there is a full moon, and the story is lit by the imagery of the moon all the way through. Whereas in common folklore, the sun represents the paternal, the moon represents the maternal, and Zaffarino is a castrato singer, meaning that he is castrated to have a higher voice range. Vernon Lee was a lesbian, and she kind of hints towards homosexuality throughout A Wicked Voice. On page 162, he says, "That effeminate fat face of his is almost beautiful, with an odd smile, brazen and cruel. I have seen faces like this, if not in real life, at least in my boyish romantic dreams, when I read Swinburne and Balder, the faces of wicked, vindictive women. Oh yes, he is decidedly a beautiful creature, this Zaffarino, and his voice must have had the same sort of beauty and same expression of wickedness." In this passage, not only does Magnus refer to decadent writers, he is oddly attracted to Zaffarino, something hindering at Vernon Lee's ideas of homosexuality. If decadence is art for art's sake, maybe homosexuality is love for love's sake. But even though Zaffarino is like a castrato under the maternal moon, he's not quite feminine enough for Magnus to comfortably be attracted to him. But what do we do at night? The moon can also represent what we see in the evening, that darkest part of our days, the darkest part of our lives, you know, when all the creeps and the goons come out, when most of our beasts, like werewolves, come out, and where our dreams, what our like subconscious desires, and like when those are revealed to ourselves. Throughout the story, the moon and water imagery are combined, and the moon, pouring in by the wide open window, turns this old palace ballroom, nowadays in dining room, into a lagoon, scintillating and undulating like the other lagoon, the real one, which stretches out yonder, furrowed by invisible gondolas betrayed by the red prow light. In Venice, where the story takes place, water canals run through the city. Every time he is in a gondola near the water, near the moon, the voice appears. It is as if the moon affects the tides and brings upon the voice of Zaffarino. Water represents clarity usually, but the moon represents the mystery and transformation. So maybe the combination of the water and moon imagery relates to the idea that his transformation is mobile and fluid like water, and becoming clear to him that this is the direction he is destined to go down, where the disease is taking him. So there's another passage, under the moonlight, as the water, like on the water, and he's like pondering over the music of his unfinished opera. He states that at this moment I seem to feel the presence of that world and of that theme. Yet an instant my mind would have been overwhelmed by that savage music. Suddenly there came across the lagoon, cleaving, checkering, fretting, silence of that lacework sound, even if the moon was fretting and cleaving the water, the ripple of music, a voice breaking itself in a shower of little scales and Candace trills. Here he is like made aware that that voice and music style haunt within him like a disease, like a werewolf that like can't control his taste for that flesh, for that human flesh, whereas werewolves eat raw meat. Magnus hates the idea of the chorister, the singer, and the fleshy body of music, but he has officially succumbed to it, and the disease has taken over. Thanks.